Tryna spend the whole M on some clothes. Got up on this, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that wet on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the Toronto Mounties. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Buffalo Bills and the Toronto Mounties. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Toronto ball club as they interplay here. They've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Landry now on the return. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And his first look is incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second down, Mayfield. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
He's going to float this. This is caught inside the 15. And touchdown. Brashad Perriman becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And he'll bang that one through. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
They begin the drive on the ground. It's White, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Now start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Just a yard in the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb, and he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
A give. This is Chubb. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Lucky 56. Set. Blue landed.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
The drive summary that time, 5 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped to the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
3rd and long. It's Ryan. This is White on the screen. And the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Mayfield now on 2nd down. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Handoff comes to Chubb. A beautiful fake. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Detroit! Detroit! No, check. Patriot! Patriot!
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A run for Nick Chubb. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go.
Over!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. They get it to him running left. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in Hampshire Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call the timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3. Mayfield will throw for it on 4th. And it's caught. Touchdown. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. Brought in over the middle by Grant. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 3rd down, Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play for the Bills on 3rd down. 45 yards. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now, Ryan. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, it's Ryan. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Bullock will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe. Yeah,
go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well. And teams are...
And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for the touchdown. Robert Foster, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Point after, right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback. And it the Bills getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
Get up!
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Play fake. Mayfield. He's got his man on the crossing route. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
This quarterback now a perfect 6 for 6 since taking over. Can't ask for better than that. 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Throwing. Mayfield drops it off for Chubb. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They run with Logan. Oh, and now some space to operate. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And this offense continues to pour it on.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They go play action now. Ryan. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wasn't that long ago that the NFL guys really didn't adopt much from the college game. But one thing that has crept in there is spreading things out, opening things up. Not even just in tempo, but maybe getting better line splits and spreading the field. I think that would be a great strategy.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills cut into that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that will shave one more off this lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible, I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mayfield, he's going to wind up and air it out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. Then they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. So they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys, let's go. Come on, capitalize on this one.
Now a carry for White. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Play action. It's Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Bills on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Here's White. Taking it right down Broadway. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. James White, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills turn that interception into a touchdown. So they went to the ground game on 3rd, hoping to pick up the 1st. And they also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having to pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, 3rd down. They don't care that it's 3rd and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up, because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Chubb. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking. Welcome back to Toronto as we are just about set to go here in quarter number 4.
Watch it now, Barney.
On third down, it's Logan. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Yeah, here come the Bills, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
To throw is Ryan. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On second down, here's Ryan. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, they obviously red man covers their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. From midfield now, here's Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Grant. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Ryan on first down. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Emmanuel Agba in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. He finds Hearns left side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Adam Gase rolls the dice. It doesn't pan out. And as a result, possession switches hands.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. Fourth down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's second and 21.
Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Mayfield to throw it. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by K'Von Webster. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, fourth quarter. After the interception, here's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And fortunately, the Bills jump on it and get it back. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. On second down, Ryan. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Bills on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be third and 15. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. Looking downfield for Joe. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down. Where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. To throw, Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know, you just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. That's just his second catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Emmanuel Agba. Who else? He's in there for his fourth sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Ryan. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and long, it's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
They run it again with Chubb, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
This offense so far on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, getting the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And a dump off to White. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.